Hey yogis, today I have a special practice just for your hammies, aka hamstrings. Today we are going to stretch and lengthen the hamstring muscles in the back of the legs. We're going to loosen up just so that we can move throughout our day with more ease. So if you're ready for your practice, we'll start in Tadasana at the top of our mat. From your Tadasana, let's go ahead and take our first breath in, shrug shoulders to ears. Exhale, let it go. Inhale, shrug. Exhale, release. And once more, big breath in. Full breath out. Good, we're gonna start with some rocking movements. So we're going to kind of roll around the perimeters of the feet, imagining that our body is like a bowling pin. So the hips are gonna go in circles. We've got rotation through the ankles, the arms, the shoulders, everything's just kind of moving fluidly from the bottom to the top. And then just start to connect with some breaths in and out of your nose. And take some the other direction. Notice what's coming up for you in the hips, in the legs, in the shoulders, the low back. And as we always come onto our mats, the first part of our practice is just about being the observer, just noticing how our body feels, as if we're going through a body scan each time that we land on our mats. Go ahead and find a Tadasana. Come onto the balls of the feet, lifting through the heels, trying to find balance here, maybe gazing at something that isn't moving in front of you. And exhale, bend at the knees, ground the feet, and bring the seat towards the heels. It's okay if you don't come all the way, maybe it looks more like a squat. And then inhale up, reach up and back. And exhale, bend at the knees. Nice long spine as you lower down. If this doesn't feel good in the knee joints, take your time. It can just be short little pulsing here as well. And maybe as you do it a few times, you realize that you can get a little further. Inhale up and back. Exhale, lower down. Once more, up. And this time, hinging at the hips, take a forward fold. So here's really where we want to be the non-judgmental observer. In our first forward fold, just noticing how tight the back of the hamstrings feel. The goal here is not to be just hanging off the low back. So a lot of people, when they come into a fold, they just dangle off the low back and they're not using a lot of the strength in their leg muscles. So bending at the knees, first I want you to bring the belly to touch the thighs. Then I want you to grab behind the calves, and I just want you to straighten out as much as you can. It might not be very straight at all, and that's totally fine. But see if you can kind of straighten out and just kind of like our pre-assessment. See how our bodies feel at the beginning of this practice. Relax the head, shake it out. Take the hands to the mat, a block, or floating in the earth, straighten through the legs and fold a little deeper. We're gonna take fists with our hands, and we're just gonna knock on the back of our legs like we're pounding our fists. And really just don't be afraid to get deep. You can go through the glutes, the sides of the legs. We're just awakening the meridians. You can go down the calves. So opening our body energetically to this practice. Go down the sides of the body. We're gonna take the hands flat and we're gonna slap the tops of the feet. And then we're gonna slap the tops as we slowly come up, all the way up the legs, to the hips. And then finding Tadasana. Relax the shoulders down the back. Notice any sensations that come up. Maybe some tingling or a little more vibration through the legs. Take a moment of gratitude for your legs that move you through life, that remind you to take forward action, that allow you to see all the beauty that this world has to offer. Just gratitude for our legs, even when they're sore and they give us trouble. Gratitude, gratitude, gratitude. Good. Take a full breath in at the top of your mat. Full breath out. And bending at the knees, inhale, reach overhead. Exhale, hinging at the hips, bending a lot at the knees to forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, flat spine, crown and tail moving in opposite directions. Exhale, fold. So we're going to do a few spinal waves with these half lifts. So the inhale is going to bring you up halfway, draw the shoulders down the back, a lot of space between the ears and the shoulders, and exhale, soften and fold. And so you can kind of do this as if you're like a wave emerging at the shore, rolling down and coming back up, and notice that you straighten and bend the knees, and we just are stretching out the back of the legs. Inhale, Ardha, half lift. Exhale, Uttanasana, fold. Inhale, Ardha, Uttanasana. Exhale, Uttanasana. 3 more. Last one. Plant the hands, step it back to plank, and then lower down onto the knees. Come onto the tops of the feet and find a kneeling position at the back of the mat. Good, and then I just want you to take the fists and give your quads a little love too. Especially if you've just woken up. This is a nice way to start your day, just really opening everything in the body, awakening it so that it can do what it is asked of you today. Speed it up, just beep, 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 beep. Beautiful. Hands to the mat, coming into tabletop, all fours. Take the head and the tail in opposite directions. Good, really exaggerating how far you might even lift the knee on the outside leg as you bring the seat close to the earth. Dipping to the edge of the mat. 1 more on each side. Beautiful. Take the knees wide, toes touching, and then draw the body back, child's pose, resting the forehead, and setting our intention for today's practice. Where else do we need to loosen up in our lives? A lot of times our body shows us how much tension we're storing is also tension that we've maybe created or have experienced in our lives, in our external world, not just within the physical body, but it's reflected there. The body keeps the score. So maybe just taking a moment to create some intention for places where we can release, where we can ease up. Breathing into that. And then when you're ready, we're going to look forward and we're going to crawl forward into a Sphinx pose, coming onto the belly. Forearms grounded, parallel like train tracks. If this is too deep of a back bend, walk the hands more forward. And then point through the toes, and we're just gonna like pulse the right leg up. See how my hips are grounded. This little pulses here. Switch sides, left leg pulsing. Ooh, that created a cramp in the front of my right quad. Keep it up. Pulse, pulse, pulse. And bring it down. Shake out the legs. And then walk the hands up to tabletop. Come onto the balls of the feet. We're coming into a fold at the back of the mat. Take the feet as wide as the mat. Grab opposite elbows, bend at the knees, and sway side to side. Once we sway over to the left, start to straighten out the legs, reach behind the calves, and start to fold towards the left leg, knee towards the nose. And here you start to feel the activation in the back of the hamstrings. So just meet yourself where you are. In yoga, we talk a lot about the edge, right? Like getting right to the edge, but don't go off the cliff. And don't stand too far back. You just got to be standing right at the edge. And when we talk about the edge, we really just mean that we bring enough challenge into our practice where we see our growth, where we're out of our comfort zone, when we're looking over the edge like, wow, this is a new feeling, this is a new sensation, and I'm safe here. And I might not be 100% comfortable, but I'm also not falling, tumbling down the edge. I'm just right at that sweet spot where I can feel the work happening. Let's switch sides, coming over to the right side. Because you will always get what you put into your practice, right? You can show up and flail your body and leave and not feel a thing. Or you can show up and really actively participate in your practice. Trust me, it's easy to check out and practice yoga. Doesn't feel much of a benefit after. So check in with yourself. Are you being present here in your body? Are you breathing with ease in and out of the nose? One more breath here. Exhale through center. Bend at the knees and just little pulses up and down. So my hands are on the earth. If you bend the knees and they're still not on the earth, you can grab opposite elbows and just kind of balancing. If you're really tight here, this might not be super accessible, so you can hang. Just giving a little bit of stretch to those muscles. Good. Start to walk forward to a wide plank, walking the hands out. And once you're there, rocking forward and back, pressing through the heels, engaging the core. Press away from the mat, scapula spread. Good. And then bend at the knees like a really deep bear pose. Feet are still as wide as the mat. Pressing chest towards the thighs. And slowly walk up in your bear pose. So I'm walking on the edge of the mat and I'm kind of bouncing to the top. And once I arrive, turn the knees and toes out, lower down Malasana, yogi squat. Try to get the spine straight if we're here. Really press elbows into knees. Lengthen the crown, the shoulders away from the ears. If you need to bring blocks under the seat, pillows, any support you need, please take it. And then just little side to side movements, starting subtle. And then releasing the hands if it feels good and really exaggerating. So maybe swaying side to side like we're painting with our fingers through the air. Maybe lifting one heel and then the other. That primal energy. Good, hands to the mat. Forward fold, my feet are off the mat. You can stay nice and wide and just move organically. Heel toe the feet underneath you. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, soften and fold. Inhale, rise to stand. Exhale, hands at heart. Take the feet one step away from each other. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise, reach up. Hands at heart. Step the feet another step away from each other. Inhale, reach up, bend at the knees. Exhale, fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise to stand, bending at the knees, using the support of the legs. Exhale, hands at heart. Once more, feet as wide as the mat, if not off the mat. Bend at the knees, reach up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold. Good, take the left foot, step it back. Now we're in a position for a lizard pose. You might walk that foot more up. Knees and toes need to point the same direction. If they angle out, it's cool. If it's forward, that's great. And then go ahead and rock forward and back, pressing through the hands to keep the heart parallel to the mat. We're not dipping down just yet. Lower down the back knee. Release the top of the foot. Now here is just as deep as you need to go, but if your practice is calling for something a little deeper, you might bring forearms to the mat or blocks. Or stay lifted here, and if the arms are straight, bring the chest through. So spread at the collarbones. Nice long neck. Let's find 5 breaths here. Inhale for 5. Exhale. Inhale for 4. Exhale. Inhale 3. Let it go. Inhale for 2. Exhale. Inhale for 1. Exhale for 1. Now you feel that sweet spot right after a few breaths. Now just hang out here for a moment and maybe just bring a little subtle movements, exploring what feels good in your body. So I like to kind of draw the outer left hip to the outside, and I feel it just go a little deeper through the hips and the low back. You might practice lifting the knee. You might bring the belly more towards the earth. Good, and then we're gonna come into half splits, but we're gonna do a variation where the foot is actually off the mat and angling to the top right corner. So go ahead and take that right foot off the mat, point it out, and start to walk the hands towards the body, coming into half splits. So now these right toes lift, and I'm gonna walk my hands forward and tuck the chin to the chest. Notice the knee that's grounded and the heel are in one straight line. My hips are pretty level. And then just finding that edge once again. Maybe you can get forearms to the mat. Maybe that's for another day. And then invite softness into your body. Next breath in, look forward, start to plant that foot. And then from here, ground the left hand under the left shoulder. Right hand is just going to push the right knee away from you. The sole of that right foot might show, and maybe turn and look over the right shoulder. Or if you want to come into a full crooked monkey, you might bend the back knee, grabbing for the inside of the foot, and really opening through the chest. Mm-hmm. Exhale, let it go. Good. Start to bring that right knee to the mat. And then just organic movements to release. Grounding through your tabletop. Take some circles with the right knee. Good. Take a few the opposite way. And take the right leg straight back behind you and stretch through the calf, rocking forward and back on the ball of the foot. Great job. We're going to make our way back to Malasana Yogi Squat. So I'm going to come onto the balls of the feet for a downward facing dog. Take a moment here. We haven't had our down dog yet. Heels falling behind the toes, behind the ankles. And really a lot of times I see people in practice with their legs completely straight and they're more in this like rainbow shape, right? This rounded back. So the way to really get the best stretch through the spine is to bend through the knees, let the heels be lifted, press the chest towards the thighs. Okay, you'll really start to feel your practice transform when you meet yourself where you are. A lot of times we want to say, oh, I've got my heels flat, but now look, I've lost all of the posture in down dog. So really to help us with stretching the hamstrings and using the muscles as they are each day, we really need to bend the knees a lot. So let's take a big step to the outside of our mat. Malasana Yogi Squat. Whew, got nice big poofy hair today with this humidity. Hands together. Take a moment to take a big circle with the neck. And one the opposite way. And plant the hands. Right foot steps it back. And we're setting up for our lizard pose with the left foot at the top of the mat. Great. From here, start just with that knee lifted, rocking it out. Go ahead and lower that knee, top of the foot, and then maybe chest lifted, crown lifted, or coming onto forearms if that's accessible today. And we'll take 5 breaths here. Grounding into stillness, inhale for 5. Exhale. Inhale for 4. Let it out. Inhale 3. Exhale. Inhale 2. Inhale 1. Let it go. Start to bring a little bit of subtle movements into your body, inching the right hip out to the edge. Maybe coming onto fists if the wrists need a little break. Awesome. And then we're going to come into that crooked monkey. So take the right hand under the shoulder, press the left hand into the knee and gaze behind you, or that full expression, grabbing the inside of the foot. And exhale, let it go. Start to walk the left foot out even more as you bring the hips towards the heels in your half splits. Tuck chin to chest. Finding the length in the back of the neck. Maybe it feels good to shake the head no. And shake the head yes. Check in that back foot is behind the knee. Two more breaths. And gently start to ground that front foot. Walk it back in. We'll bring the left knee to meet the right. Take some big circles with the hips or anything else that your body craves. Maybe the other direction. And then tabletop position, let's take some circles with the left knee. Making sure the fingers are spread wide, strong foundation in the mat. Switch directions. Shoulders stack over wrists. So much to think about. Child's pose. Knees might feel nice together or wide, but toes touching. And rest forehead to earth. Start to come into downward facing dog with a bend in the knees. Gazing between the big toes. Pressing away from the earth. And slowly start to walk forward, looking at the top of the mat. Into your fold. Take the two peace fingers, wrap them around the big toes. Bending at the elbows, draw the belly first to meet the thighs. So here, look at it. Here I'm in a half lift. If I want the bellies to meet the thigh, I might bend the knees a little bit and glue the ribs to the front of the legs. Then from there, I can bend at the elbows. I can draw my head down towards the feet, tucking chin to chest. And then bringing a little more weight into the balls of the feet, so leaning just a little bit more evenly through the perimeters of the feet and start to straighten out the legs. Now you still might be in a deep bend in the knees, but bend the elbows and try to just invite more relaxation through the neck and the shoulders. Finding 5 breaths here. It's okay if the muscles shake. It means you're doing the work. Release the left hand and place it on the mat. Right hand stays where it is. We're gonna lower the seat. Belly is still engaged into the thighs. And then we're gonna reach the right heel up with us to come to stand. You might use some support to get there. Once you arrive, press that heel forward. If you're losing your balance, just take your time. Try it as often as you need. Left arm might come out like a wing or on the hip. Really stabilize, press straight through the left leg. It's okay if the right knee is bent. Start to bend a little more at the right knee to open it out to the side and kick the heel open. Another variation of this might be taking just the right hand inside of the left knee, opening it out to the side. So I'll face forward so you can see me. Choosing your posture, just feeling the extension here. And when you're ready to release, bring that right ankle over the left thigh and just find a figure four chair. Reach the arms up, dorsiflex toes to shin. Another breath in, another breath out. Inhale, knee to chest, heel forward, step it down. Whew, let it go, shake it out, walk it out. Now walk it out, walk, walk, walk. Now walk it out, walk. Okay, I'll save that for later. Next video. Tadasana, mountain pose. Big breath in, big breath out. Inhale, sweep the arms up. Exhale, soften and fold, hinging at the hips. Okay, into our next fold. We're gonna step onto the hands. So we're gonna bring fingertips to heels, so tops of the hands onto the mat, and toes to wrist creases. If this is not available to you, take a nice forward fold, just walking the hands down the front of the shins. Once you've arrived in your expression, bend at the elbows, draw the chin towards the chest, and really think about how we elongate our crown towards the earth. So that kind of helps me to get a little more length in the neck and then tuck the chin. And then I feel even the stretch come down my upper back. Find 5 breaths here. I am open to my life. I am here to receive what life has for me. One more full breath in. Let it go. Release right hand to the earth. Bring the 2 peace fingers around the big left toe. And then we're gonna bring that foot up as we stand. So bend at the knees, look up, look forward, bring the foot up, you got it. Come, 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 kick it out once you arrive. Wobble, 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 and then find that grounded stillness. Woo, speak for yourself, Amber. Press through the big toe if you need to find more balance in the standing foot. Bend at the left knee to open that hip. You can stay bent here or start to straighten. Great job staying in your breath. One more. Exhale to figure 4 chair. Take your time as you move through these motions. Arms up, lower the seat, tall spine. Full breath in, left knee to chest. Exhale, press the heel forward. Step it down. Woo, shake it out. Now walk it out. Walk, walk, walk. Now walk it out. Walk, walk, walk. And back to stillness, mountain pose. Maybe a lion's breath if you need it. It's hot here. I'm standing in the garden in my house in Nicaragua. It's a beautiful place, but man, it's humid. Taking just the hips over the ankles. Take a moment to lean back on the heels, lifting the toes. And press into the toes, lifting the heels. And do that a few times, leaning forward and back. I mean, every part of the legs are connected, so if we got tight ankles, tight fascia in the feet, it might affect the back of the knee joints, going all the way up to the hamstrings, the glutes, the low back, it's all connected. So the more that we can really stretch out from the bottom up, the top down, go ahead and just take the balls of the feet and open the knees like this, the better we are going to feel. Good, take the right top of the foot, press it into the mat. Ooh, nice stretch. You might take hands to the back of the pockets. That would look funny if we had yoga pants with pockets on the butt. I've never seen that. I do love these side pockets though. I mean, come on. I can put all of my Palo Santo on one side, put my crystals on the other side. Take the right foot down, left foot top, pressing into the mat. Ooh. Amazing, let it go. All right, we're gonna come to sit in a wide-legged forward fold, so go ahead and turn on the long edge of your mat, make your way down, and feet out wide. Shake it out once you arrive. Turn the toes up. Hands are gonna press forward, so we have a nice tall spine, like we're pushing into a wall, pressing. Lean forward like you're pushing through the wall. Push, 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 push. Hips will tell you when to drop the forearms and tuck chin to chest. So that's a nice way to enter with awareness in the spine. You might crawl the fingertips forward and reach, or you might soften forearms down like we were in that Sphinx pose, or you might stay lifted here and just tuck chin to chest. And just find what your body needs today, and we'll take 10 breaths here. Halfway there. And then gently walk your way back up to a tall spine. From here, take the left foot inside of the right thigh. Bring the big toe in alignment with the knee if you can. And then get both sit bones grounded. Turn and square shoulders towards the long leg. And then same thing. Palms forward, press, 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 press through the wall. Hands to mat, forearms down, tuck the chin. If it feels good to reach for the bottom of the foot or the ankle and bend at the elbows, you can do that as well. Just don't overdo it. Sometimes when our body gets really warm, we feel like we can go further than our body actually wants to. So just check in that we're not holding our breath or shaking profusely. Bringing our intention back to the forefront of our mind. And slowly walk back up to a tall spine. We're going to take the left hand outside of the left hip. We're going to press the knee and the big toe into the mat. Reach up and back, big stretch. Maybe circle out the right wrist. Maybe drop the neck. Maybe take big circles with the right arm. Anything that your body craves. Always making this your own. And exhale, find your seat. We're going to plant the left foot inside of the right leg. Knee is going to stay up. And then we're going to walk that foot out just to create about a hand space between the foot and the leg. Left shoulder is going to go into the inside of the knee, and hands can extend out long. I'll show you the bind in a minute, but here we're just going to walk the foot out a little bit more. And then sit up tall and twist over to the right. So I've got my hands kind of extending out and I'm opening the chest. Now if you have the bind, you can reach for the fingertips behind the leg and twist here. And gently release. Awesome. Release that leg, shake it out. And we'll spin around to open the left leg, right foot in. Repeating what we did on the other side. Sit bones grounded, shoulders square, palms out, press forward. Taking that fold. Notice which side feels easier for you. And knowing that a holistic practice like yoga is going to help bring more balance into the body. One more breath in and out. Walk the hands back up to a tall spine. Right hand outside of the hip. Big stretch up and back. Finding any other motion through the arms or the wrists. And exhale, lower down. We'll plant that right foot, taking about a hand space between. Right shoulder into the knee, extend the arm. Left arm extends out as well. And then you can sit up tall and twist, or you can find that bind. And then maybe inch that toe out a little more if you need more space. And finding a nice deep twist. And when you're ready to release, gently unwind. We're gonna bring our feet as wide as the mat, come to sit in the center, take a few windshield wipers right and left. Amazing job today, everyone. We're ready to come into our final posture, just grabbing behind the hamstrings, lowering down nice and slow. And extending the legs out long for our Shavasana. Take your time to add anything else in that feels good. And then really committing to silence and stillness. Not turning off the video just yet, but really embracing this moment of rest. Laying down on the back of the spine with the body open to receive. With this softness, just inviting this time to really integrate all the work that we've already done today with pride for taking the time for ourselves. Shavasana. Start to deepen your breath. Sighing it all out. We're going to draw the left knee into the chest and just let that knee graze side to side. And then extend that leg out long, and we'll take the right knee to chest, same thing. And then both knees up to chest, and we'll come to rest on one side body in a fetal position. Reminding ourselves of our intention for today. Letting this feeling, this relaxing sensation through our bodies just keep us grounded as we move through the rest of our day. And as we lift ourselves up, just take your time, moving slowly. Coming to meet in a seated position. The eyes closed. Let's inhale together, reach arms overhead, reaching up, gazing up. And exhale, hands at heart center. Thank you so much for choosing to be here with me today. The light inside of me honors the same light inside of each of you. Thank you for getting on your mat today. Namaste.